A lot of people tend to confuse between the CDS account for buying shares and the CSD account for investing in treasury bills and treasury bonds. What do you need to invest in treasury bills and treasury bonds? What do you need to buy shares in the Nairobi Securities Exchange? Let's clear this confusion once and for all. Welcome to Finance Focus with Andrew, a platform where you engage in conversations that endeavor to enhance our financial literacy. In case you are coming across this channel for the first time, consider subscribing to the channel, turn on the notification bell so that you don't get to miss any time we get to post a new financial tip. Now, today we are clearing the confusion between the account that you need to buy shares and the account that you need to invest in treasury bills and treasury bonds. Let's start with shares. So, for you to invest in shares, you first need to understand that shares are traded in the Nairobi Securities Exchange. That is the NSC. And to do this, to access the Nairobi Securities Exchange, you need a broker. So, the link between the investor and the NSC, the link between these two people is what we call a broker. So we have quite a number of licensed brokers by the Capital Market Authority. You can check that information and open an account with one of the licensed brokers. So the kind of account that you get to open with the licensed broker for you to access the Nairobi Securities Exchange, it is a CDS account, and this is run by what we call CDSC, that is the Central Depository Central Depository and Settlement Corporation. So that is what you need to buy shares. You need to open an account with one of the brokers licensed by the Nairobi Securities Exchange, and what they will open for you is a CDS account. Then once you tend to move forward and invest in government securities, that is the treasury bills and the treasury bonds, you cannot use the same account because a lot of people tend to ask, I already have a CDS account. Can I use the same account to invest in treasury bills and treasury bonds? And the answer for that is no. You cannot use the CDS account for shares to invest in treasury bills and treasury bonds. Now, when we move to treasury bills and treasury bonds, we now move to the Central Bank of Kenya. So we were talking about NSC, but now when we move to the treasury bills and bonds, we are talking about the Central Bank of Kenya. So for you to access the Central Bank of Kenya, you need what we call a CSD account, not a CDS account. You need a CSD account. So, and it is popularly known as, you'll hear people, I'm also confusing them. So you need a CSD account, and you'll hear a lot of people calling it DAO CSD because it is opened on a platform known as the DAO CSD app or the DAO CSD portal. So to invest in treasury bills and treasury bonds, you need a CSD account. If I'm not wrong, I think this stands for Central Securities Depository. So you need a CSD account to access the treasury bills and treasury bonds market directly through the Central Bank of Kenya. So for you to access the treasury bills and the treasury bonds, you don't need, get me right, for you to access the treasury bills and the treasury bonds directly when they are floated by the Central Bank of Kenya, you don't need a broker, you don't need an agent. You open the account directly through the Central Bank of Kenya, that is the CSD account. But when you need a broker, when it comes to matters treasury bills and treasury bonds, is when you want to access the secondary market. So this is for the primary market for the treasury bills and the treasury bonds. But once you need to access the secondary market for the treasury bills, for the treasury bonds, you need now a broker and an agent, because we are now going back to the Nairobi Securities Exchange. The treasury bonds in the secondary market trade in the Nairobi Securities Exchange, and to access the Nairobi Securities Exchange, you will need a broker. But accessing the primary auction for the treasury bills and the treasury bonds, it's directly through the Central Bank of Kenya through a CSD account. I hope that clears the confusion between the CDS account and the CSD account, and you are now aware what do you have and what do you need to open. What will you open when you need to buy shares, and what you will open when you want to access the treasury bills and the treasury bonds in the CBK portal, that is the primary auction by the Central Bank of Kenya.